Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to go to battle here this evening with the Premium Stunt Car Racing League. As drivers are ready to go to battle, they are ready to duke it out here this evening. Each and every one of these cats looking for that checkered flag, looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening at the always amazing Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're in for a treat. We're in for another great day of racing action here as these drivers jump out there onto the racetrack. They're all trying to lay some good times down out there on the speedway. They're all trying to make sure that they can have a perfect run here this evening and see if they can put themselves up and into victory lane here in the, I would say, the home track here of NASCAR. They're at the beautiful North Carolina, the Concord, North Carolina, here where Charlotte Motor Speedway is at. Most of these drivers and most of these teams in real life NASCAR have their facilities, have their auto shops, everything else right down the road here from Concord, right from Charlotte. So this is a home track for most of NASCAR. So these drivers, they're going to feel comfy. They're going to feel right at home here at the Speedway. As my boy Aaron Robinson, what's good, Aaron? Ron coming in, showing the love here. And this one says, what's up? What's up, brother? How are you, Aaron? How are you? Hopefully you're having yourself a great Saturday and ready for some great racing here this evening. As we're going to take a quick moment here. Let me double check here. I want to make sure I get all of this right. As unfortunately, we're going to do a quick little moment of silence here as one of our drivers here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, Michael Durham. His infant son unfortunately passed away, so we're going to do a quick moment of silence here as our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts are all with Michael and his family, his wife, and the entire family there with the Durhams and dealing with the loss of their infant son. So a quick moment of silence right now, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, well, a beautiful moment right there. Our hearts, our prayers are with Michael and his entire family in their time of struggling. And if he needs anything, reach out to myself, reach out to the league, reach out for anybody, as we're always here to help you, always here to help you here in this one. As what's good? X Cryptic says, I have a penalty. Gonna be starting the race 2 laps down. It's Dylan, by the way. Dylan, what in the world? And JB decides, says, nobody asked, he says. Oh, gosh. Cryptic, Dylan, what in the world? Did you change your name? I know it was SSJ Logic. Now it's changed to X Cryptic. What's going on there with that, brother? What's going on with that? A little bit of a name change there. As we're going to get ready. We're going to make sure we hop in here as we do get our opening command here, our a little bit of everything. We're going to hop in quickly for a quick commercial over there by our amazing sponsors at Prestige Enterprises. So we want to showcase them, and then we're going to go to our national anthem with Landon Burbage. So let's get that fired off. Oh, wrong one.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our...
Get ready for the Golf Galaxy Performance Center grand opening weekend. $30,000 plus in giveaways and prizes, including our exciting $10,000 closest to the pin contest. Experience the latest golf clubs, cutting-edge style, and top-of-the-line services. Immerse yourself in a whole new level of golf. Don't miss out. Join us for an epic grand opening. See you there.
I need something reliable. Somebody that's gonna be there for me. It's like every time I turn around, there's literally an issue. Seems like our relationship changes like all the time.
Have you tried talking to your boyfriend about this?
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
You deserve better. General Electric Credit Union, where everyday checking is both easy and free.
Alrighty, thank you, Landon, for coming in there and giving us our national anthem here this evening from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As these drivers out on the racetrack, they are all looking to try to lay down some good lap times right now as qualifying about to get underway. So practice coming to a close, qualifying now getting started. Drivers will be hopping out onto the racetrack. They're going to be looking to lay down those quick times, trying to start up towards the front of the field. As you do see the NJP Designs number 18 rider Noah Blackwell. He's out there on the racetrack. He's currently up inside the top 5. Landon Burbage, though, to the top of the speed charts. The Ally number 2 ride up into the top spot. Brian Underwood in the Kroger number 6 ride now sits in second. Melvin Brenger with a great lap up into third. Here's Aiden Lucas, our 3 straight race winner here on the series. I believe it's been 3 straight races that we've seen this 20 ride of Aiden Lucas win here on the season. So he's been off to a blazing hot start. He's continued to just improve and get better and better and better week after week, even at racetracks that he normally isn't very good at or hasn't ran too much at. And he's already looking good here this evening. Jordan Hand, his teammate, out there onto the racetrack. Jordan Hand's going to move up one spot better there on his second lap in the 11 ride. Will slide into position number 2. Here comes Jonathan Gaston. Gaston in the beautiful luck of the Irish, the G-Man. Ryan looking fresh as heck out there on the speedways. The Gaston's iRacing Graphics Old Dogs Motorsports ride currently sits in position number 6 here in qualifying. There's one of his teammates, Farrell Robbins. He's sitting there in 11th. Wyatt Mickelson, good to see Wyatt back out there on the racetrack after missing last week, but he's out there on the speedway, currently 13th fastest out there on the speedway. Grant Applegate. Applegate will jump into position number 4 here. Looks like he's going to call it quits there after that lap, and he's going to be up in that 4th position as of right now. Is Jordan Kreider. He's up into 12th, looking for a little bit better of a run here at the end of this second lap. See if he can find a little extra speed. See if he can move himself a little closer to the front of the field here to start this race. Is down across the line. He will click off another lap, and he is currently sitting there in position number 12. Doesn't look like he finds any extra speed right there, so that's where he's going to be. He's actually going to slide back a spot as Danny White and the Old Dogs number 79 right will jump up into 11th. Josh Kreider, he slides out there onto the speedway. There's a great look at the Josh Kreider wins number 5 ride out there on the racetrack. Currently Kreider in the 19th position. Not the qualifying run that he was hoping for here. Even his second lap not as fast, and he's back there in 19th. Currently it looks like he's going to be starting towards the back of the pack. We're still waiting for Dylan Carrier, Chris Getz, Michael Ponder Jr., and Evan Stewart all to jump out and try to lay some laps down here this evening, as they have yet to qualify here in this race. But as we get ready to rumble, we get ready to go to battle here this evening, we want to give a quick shout out to all of our amazing sponsors here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. You see them down there in the bottom right side of the screen. All of our amazing sponsors, man, coming on board and making this all possible, making the season run as smoothly as it does, and helping, you know, cover the cost of all this stuff for all these amazing drivers and the admin crew and everything else. We couldn't do it without our amazing sponsors here on the Premium Stock Car Racing League, so we can't thank them enough. As right now, Landon Burbage quickest here in qualifying. Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood. Grant Applegate there in 4th. Melvin Brengerer up into 5th as Aiden Lucas there in 6th. So again, that Redemption Motorsports crew looking for another solid effort here this evening. And right now, all 4 of their drivers up inside the top 6 here to start this race. Everybody else has kind of bounced around a little bit. We see Aaron Robinson back in 9th. We see Blackwell there just rounding out our top 10 as qualifying officially comes to a close, and we'll get ready to roll here with our A main feature event. And as our A main about to get underway, we're going to see if we can jump up into our Lonnie Kreider opening command here this evening. Our opening command about to come up here. Let's pull this down for everybody to see so everyone gets to see Lonnie Kreider in the opening command here this evening. Looks like a short one, but a good one here from Lonnie.
Start those engines and let's go racing.
Alrighty, a short one there by Lonnie Kreider as we are going to start those engines and we are going to get racing here on Peacemaker Gaming as the Premium Stock Car Racing League back in action here this evening. This is going to be a fun race. This is going to be a great race. A lot of battling out there on the speedway. Brian Carrier says, good luck, Dylan Carrier. Cheering on Dylan out there as Abe Later, hopefully I'm saying that right. Abe Later says, Peacemaker, baby! Let's go, baby! Let's go. How are you, Abe Later? Coming in, showing the love here in this one over there on YouTube. As Cryptic Dust says, I did. Laugh out loud. Reviving that esports team for other games like COD and R6, so I decided to rebrand. Hey, listen, we love it, brother. We love the rebrand. We love trying to get things rocking and rolling, get some things mixed up here as we'll get these drivers ready to mix things up and get into the action here this evening as these drivers, they are ready. They are ready to roll. They are ready to go to battle here this evening as they sit down on pit road. They're all getting pretty much wound up. You see them there in those webcams. They're getting wound up. They're getting ready to race. They're getting ready to go to battle. They're getting their last couple seconds of, a little bit of a time to breathe here. Relax. Try to work off some of those nerves and get ready to duke it out here this evening. Shout out to all of our amazing drivers with the webcams turned on as we'll get ready to play here this afternoon. As starting on the pole as the sun's starting to set here over the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway, it is the NJP Designs Ally number 2 ride of Landon Burbage who will lead us to the green flag. The 11 of Jordan Hand will start to his outside there in second with a pair of his teammates right there behind him. Brian Underwood will start in position number 3 to his outside their teammate. That is that 57 ride of Grant Applegate. Starting in position number 5, it's Melvin Brengerer there in the Thrustmaster NJP Designs Toyota. There in that 5th position. To his outside, the Tracker Boats, the Bass Pro Shop 20 machine of Aiden Lucas will start back in 6. Then we see Jonathan Gaston, the G-Man, and the Lock of the Irish, the Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 72. There in 7th with Nathan Brook over there to his outside. Pair of green cars here for a little bit of Luck of the Irish here this evening, starting there in 7th and 8th. Then we see that 24, that's Aaron Robinson, who will start in the 9th position, and to his outside, the 18 ride, that is Noah Blackwell. Starting in 11th, we see Danny White there. Danny will start there in 11th. Trenton Johns to his outside. Farrell Robbins, Jordan Kreider rounding out our top 14 with Ben Gleason, Wyatt Mickelson, Logan Perriman there in 18th. Ryan Haller down to his inside in that Parts Plus 99 ride there in 17th. Then we see Josh Kreider in the 5, the 00, Michael Durham Jr., Dylan Carrier, Evan Stewart, Chris Getz, Michael Ponder Jr. bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As the sun quickly starting to set here over the racetrack, the fireworks are just getting started here this afternoon. It's going to be a tight battle. It's going to be a lot of back and forth out there on the speedway. The caution flags, they may fly, but we should see some pretty good, hard, clean green flag laps out there on the speedway, and strategy could become a major factor here this evening. That strategy call, trying to head down pit side, trying to keep yourself out of trouble all evening long, are going to be some of the strategies to try and put yourself up and into victory lane here this evening. As Landon Burbage continue to lead the way, Grant Applegate quickly there into second, and now looking for that early race lead as he rolls down to the inside, hooks that white and blue line on the bottom side of the racetrack, and he will take that race lead away from Landon Burbage. So early on, we get a new race leader as Applegate able to slide into the top spot. Burbage slides back into second. Jordan Hand back into third here as Aiden Lucas already up a couple spots himself. And there you see that 20 ride rolling in position number 4. But there is a caution flag out there on the racetrack. An early caution flag. I'm not sure what might have happened here. Looks like Jonathan Gaston. Oh, the luck of the Irish. Not so lucky here early on in this race. Looks like contact between him in the 18 ride. Noah Blackwell spins that 72 ride around hard up into the outside fence. See everyone else trying to avoid him, trying to dodge him right there. Oh, man, heavy hit right there. I do believe that is Logan Perryman there in that 88 machine who's going to slam into him. Pretty heavy contact there for both of those drivers coming together. But look at that 72 ride. All 4 tires up and off the ground. Luckily enough, it doesn't go up and over. But for Jonathan Gaston, the G-Man, not the way he wanted things to start here this evening from the beautiful home of racing here for America at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm usually used to saying the dirt track at Charlotte, but we're on the asphalt Charlotte track here. See if we can get another look at this one. See that contact again as we'll play it back just a little bit here. You see Gaston. I don't know if Gaston's kind of trying to come down. Kind of comes down a little bit. The 18 right underneath of him, unfortunately. Looks like he kind of gets a little checked up there for Melvin Brenger. That's where the contact's kind of made. Pretty good damage there for the 18 as well after making that contact with Jonathan Gaston, but you see Gaston hard up into that outside fence. Heavy damage there for him. That car spinning around, and unfortunately for everybody else, they were able to afford him, but unfortunately here for the 88 rider, Logan Perryman, trying to decide on which way to go, and ends up just slamming right into the back end of that 72 ride. Heavy front end damage there for both drivers. Let's see if we can play this back and take a look on board here with this 88, see what he can see from the cockpit as he rounds corner number 4. So you can already see, and just a little bit here, the front left of his windshield. There's the contact. See the 72 ride go around. He's spinning there, thinking that he's going to go down the racetrack. Doesn't end up going down the track. Sees it right in the middle. Unfortunately, the 88 just guessing wrong on which way he wanted to try to get around that 72 and makes hard contact with him. Stop there on the racetrack. He's going to take that thing down pit side as a early caution flag here on the evening. Already some problems for a bunch of these drivers as Jaden says, so Gaston is dead. Gaston, he might be dead. I don't think he's dead, but that car is hurting quite a bit. He's down pit side. Looks like he's going to be down there for an extended period of time. Already getting work done. Already getting that car, trying to get it fixed up here. OC Dylan Carrier, after having to serve some pit penalties here, looks like he is down at least a lap, maybe 2. Same with Chris Getz here. Actually, looks like Getz able to get the free pass. He's quickly back onto the lead lap, so the PSCRL number 87 rider Chris Getz will stay on the lead lap here this evening, which could open up the door here for Dylan Carrier to maybe get some lucky dogs and try to work his way back onto the lead lap here this evening. Logan Perryman was able to get that 88 ride, the Outlaw Customs Toyota, fixed back up. He was able to quickly get that car redone here as the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army paint scheme here this evening. That thing's looking fresh. I kind of like that two-face kind of style of that race car there. Obviously showcasing both the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Army here. Split right down the middle. Looking fresh on both sides though. And man, oh man, he's got Lucas W. King and Melissa S. King riding on board here with that 88 ride this afternoon. Beautiful looking paint scheme, beautiful looking ride there, and we support our troops, and we love what he's doing there and showcasing a couple of our amazing military forces here this afternoon, and a couple of our military members on board with them. As we'll get them stacked up, we'll get them racked up, and we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Is out in front. It is this Red Bull Supra, and that is Applegate at the front of the field. He leads the way here in this one. As out of corner number 4, we will see that pace car head back down pit side, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we are back to battle here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As quickly the 57 ride out in front. We're waiting for the lights to turn on here at Charlotte. It seems like since the latest update from iRacing, they've been lacking on the electricity. They've been lacking on the power bill here. We saw this at the dirt track at Charlotte on Wednesday night with our Wednesday night Street Fights Street Stock series. It seemed like it waited a long time until they finally turned the lights on here for that race. And it seems like again tonight, I don't know if Charlotte's just trying to save as much electricity as possible or what, but right now they definitely don't have them turned on, and it's pretty dark out there. So we'll do our best to make sure we get all these drivers and get good looks at them out there on the racetrack. It's a little tougher with how dark it is. We do apologize for that, but nothing we can do until the racetrack decides to turn those lights on. As Grant Applegate out in front, we're going to see another quick caution flag here this evening. So a couple early caution flags this time. Looks like the Ghost Energy number 28 ride of Trenton John's going to run into some problems here. Let's take a look. John's trying to battle here. That's Jordan Kreider, the 24 ride there of that is Aaron Robinson. Robinson trying to figure out maybe a way to get around this 28 ride, trying to work his way up through the top 10. Looks like he's going to get in there a little bit too deep. Ends up getting into the back end of that 28 ride. Gives him a pretty good love tap right there. Unfortunately for the 28, the car goes down onto the apron. You see how much it gets unbalanced. Losing that rear end. Slides up the racetrack. Ooh, baby, close call there for the 66 of Ben Gleason, as he almost got a big piece of him right there. See everyone else, Josh Kreider, the 10 right of Wyatt Mickelson, they're sliding down low. They're trying to get around him here. Same with that 00 up on the high side. Michael Durham doing a great job to avoid it as he locks up those brakes, trying to keep that car out of trouble. Does a great job of it and gets that thing checked up there on the speedway, but a little contact there between the 31 and the 87 as Gantz gets up into the outside fence. We also saw some other issues here. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Josh Kreider in the 10 ride that were rubbing and scrubbing down out of quarter number 4 here. Let's take a look at it as they're trying to avoid this 28 ride. Kreider down onto the apron. The 10 trying to slide down there as well. I think they're going to get tied together here. You see a little smoke right there. The 10 ride getting jacked up. They're trying to stay off each other, and it looks like for the most part they're able to do a pretty good job of it. They're both kind of trying to avoid that pit wall entry right there, and luckily enough they're able to keep off each other enough and for quick enough to be able to avoid any other serious contact out there on the racetrack. But for the 28 ride going for a quick spin, a good break for Dylan Carrier. Is Carrier going to get that free pass, the wave around, and now not sure this may put him back onto the lead lap, and if it does, that's going to be a great break here for that 31 machine as he rolls up to the back end of the field. As Lacey says, good luck, Nathan. Brookover, cheering on Brookover out there on the speedway. Brookover so far having himself a pretty solid run. We've seen that 8 ride up inside the top 10. Right now sits just outside the top 5 on the racetrack in the Budweiser Mountain Dew number 8 machine, looking fresh out there on the speedway. The only driver really running into major serious complications, early in this race has been that 72 rider Jonathan Gaston. We do see Gaston able to get back out there onto the racetrack, so they have fixed this car up. He's going to come back down pit side, make sure that he gets some more of these repairs under the hood done, and trying to get this Fighting Irish Old Dogs Racing number 72 ride back out there onto the racetrack, and hoping to now see some more caution flags himself, looking to try to get some of these laps back into contention here this evening. You'll see Chris Getz again spending some extra time down pit side. Obviously has that right front damage. I believe he got that damage from the little bit of contact there, trying to avoid that. Spun out 28 right, ended up bouncing it off the outside fence there on corner 4 exit, and unfortunately for him, gonna have to try to deal with that damage. As we will get him ready to roll here once again early in this race. couple early caution flanks. Things have gotten kind of a little bit sticky out there on the speedway. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, please do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. It helps us out a ton here on Peacemaker Gaming. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing as Grant Applegate leads the way here this evening. He's got a bunch of his teammates up there inside the top 5. 4 out of the 5 teammates here at the front of the field. That Redemption Motorsports group continuing to impress and just have some great runs. The last few weeks, they have been dominant in the 20 ride. A part of that team has been dominant himself. Aiden Lucas has won the last 3 races of the season. Once he kind of broke through there at Sonoma, this car has been absolutely unreal. This one should be insane, being able to see these guys continue to kind of battle and duke it out. But this 20 ride, somehow or another, at the end of these races, always seems to have a good car, be in the right position, taking advantage of it and putting himself up and into victory lane 3 times already on the season. It's absolutely wild. It's been crazy to see just how good he has been and how good he's been doing and putting together some of these great runs and great races, as he's been pretty much unstoppable. He has been so good the last few weeks, and it's going to be wild to see who's going to be able to knock him off the top spot, who's going to be able to beat him here as he's able to pick up the win at Sonoma, his first win in this series, in this league, then backs it up with the win at Texas Legacy, and then picks up the win last week at Gateway. And here he is, trying to make it 4 wins in a row for himself and his team, as Grant Applegate helping out the team here himself. He's at the front of the field leading this race. Right there behind him, Jordan Hand, the team owner. That is Jordan back there in the 11 ride. He rolls in position number 2. And we see Landon Burbage. Burbage used to be a part of this team, no longer a part of that team. He's now part of the Power Horse team, the I believe that's what they're called, right? I want to make sure now that we get that right, as the Powerhouse Motorsports group here on the season. Unfortunately, it looks like we're missing a few of our Powerhouse Motorsports drivers out there on the racetrack. We don't see Reeds Kelba out there. Obviously, we do see Landon, but no Reeds out there on the speedway. None of their other teammates out there as well. But right now, that Redemption Motorsports crew, man, they have been hooked up these last few weeks, and they are looking good again here this evening. And right now, these guys continue to have a good show. I think some things got mixed up again here. I'm seeing some different motorsports groups out there. I do see Dylan Carrier. He's in an MTL Motorsports group here over in the Discord with himself and Logan Perriman, Michael Durham, and Trenton Johns, all kind of together over there in a different channel. And we see a couple of those other drivers now into the Redemption Motorsports one. So I don't know if we got some more team stuff going on behind the backgrounds here. Some more teamwork and different things breaking up out there on the speedway. But we do know that this Redemption Motorsports crew, they mean business. Applegate, Jordan Hand, 1 and 2. You see that number 6 of Brian Underwood. He's trying to find his way around Landon Burbage, trying to make it a 1, 2, 3 out there on the speedway for that Redemption Motorsports team, as Aiden Lucas right there rounding out the top 5 and 4 out of the top 5 being that Redemption Motorsports team. There is Noah Blackwell and Nathan Brookover. It's looking a whole lot like their Discord right now, as everyone inside the top 7 except for Landon Burbage is in that Redemption Motorsports Discord out there.
There's a reason your family is the way it is. But where did all that come from? And from who? Ancestry can help you find out with detailed DNA results and inspiring family history memberships. Lucky you, it's on sale now.
These mushrooms make you feel better. Like a lot better. These mushrooms help you focus while lowering stress, keeping you calm, but sharp. They reduce bloat and protect your gut so you can digest better. Plus, they boost your immunity so you can stay healthy and energized. Wait, and they taste good? Someone should make a coffee out of this stuff. Rise. Feel better.
Now you see Carrier trying to work down low, trying to work this Phoenix Esports Premier Racing Setups number 31 ride up towards the front of the field, as unfortunately for Dylan had penalties from last week, had to serve here early in the race, went down a lap early in this race, but those couple early caution flags helped keep him only one lap down and then gave him the free pass and got him back onto the lead lap, and now trying to race his way up towards the front of the field here as he sits in that 14th position, not able to make that pass on the 24 of Aaron Robinson as Michael Durham Jr. in that Ghost Energy Double Zero ride rolls there in 15th. Evan Stewart there in 16th on the Speedway. Good to see Evan out there on the Speedway in that Louisville City FC, the Louisville Football Club number 37 ride, rolling there in that 16th spot is Ryan Haller right there behind him. Same with Farrell Robbins back there on the Old Dogs Racing number 76 ride. The beautiful Gaston's iRacing Graphics rides there in 18th and 19th, as you do see that 79 ride of Danny White there in the 19th position. Logan Perryman trying to work that ride back up towards the front here after that early contact, an issue for him. He rolls back, just rounding out our top 20. Trenton Johns, who we saw go around, bringing out that second caution flag. Trenton runs there in 21st with Michael Ponder Jr. down to his inside. Michael looks like he's got a little bit of contact there, to the front right of that 13 ride. A little bit of damage of that quick lane machine. Hopefully not going to affect that car too much as he rolls out there in that beautiful Josh Berry inspired paint scheme. Now you do see Trenton Johns. He's going to get up and pancake that outside fence himself, allowing that 13 to get back around him. Chris Gantz rolls there in 23rd as Jonathan Gaston a lap or a couple laps down now on the racetrack here. That 72 ride rolls in 24th on the Speedway, as only 24 drivers starting here this evening. We're missing a few of these cats out there on the racetrack, and hopefully we'll see them back in action next Saturday. But for right now, it has been good work at the front of the field for the Redemption crew. As Grant Applegate, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood now sit 1, 2, and 3. So Redemption at the front of the field as Aiden Lucas now going to move around Landon Burbage. So they sit 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Speedway. And our, once again, our unlikely hero out there on the Speedway, that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. Landon rolling there in position number 5, trying to work himself back around this 20 ride and trying to break up the party there at the front of the field for the Redemption crew as they roll 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Speedway. Landon trying to stick right there with him. Here comes Noah Blackwell. Here comes Nathan Brookover, Melvin Brangruer, Ben Gleason, and Wyatt Mickelson now rounding out our top 10 as Jordan Kreider unfortunately slides outside the top 10, now back in that 11th position on the racetrack. But it's all Applegate, Jordan Hand, and Brian Underwood as Underwood rolls there in 3rd. Let's see if we can get a good in-car look here around the racetrack as the lights get to really turn on or kick on all the way here. You see them starting to fire up around the racetrack, so that's good news. At least make these cars a little bit brighter and put them under the lights here at the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. But for this number 6 machine, he's looking and trying to race his way up to the front of the field here. Now we do have the webcam for this number 6 machine. See if we get that working up here in the chat. It was working earlier. Why is it not working now? Where did Brian Underwood go? There's his video feed. Let me make sure we get this in there correctly. Maybe for some reason it didn't want to load. Let's see if we can get that working again and give you guys a look in at Brian Underwood. He's got a pretty crazy, there you go. He's got a little bit of a crazy background there. He's got the red lightning going on in his background, and he's rolling out there on the Speedway. He's focused up and storming around the racetrack. We're loving the beautiful beard there, looking very Irish out there with the headset, the nice red beard there as well. And he's locked in, focused here, rolling right in behind his teammate, trying to figure out a way to maybe get up and around Jordan Hand and see if he can go after his other teammate in front of this field, as I know Brian wants to find victory lane here. After picking up the championship last season, he's been struggling to try to find victory lane with his teammate Aiden Lucas winning a lot of these races. He has yet to find victory lane himself, and I know he's been getting better and better week after week after week. He came 3rd place a couple weeks ago. Last week came home in 2nd. This week he's looking to finish off in that top spot and take that win away from Aiden Lucas and the rest of this field. As good huge shout out there to obviously that number 6 ride of Mr. Underwood, for having the webcam turned on for us. All of our amazing drivers with the webcams on here this evening. We thank each and every single one of them for being a part of that program and having the webcams for us to enjoy and see them battle and duke it out what they're doing behind the wheel of their sim rigs. As Grant Applegate out in front, he is probably smiling right now behind his webcam if he had one turned on for us, as he sits at the front of the field continuing to look to run away with this race, looking to continue to keep all these drivers back there at bay as the sun really starting to set here at Charlotte. Now the lights are starting to kick in. We should see this track get quite a bit brighter here over the next handful of laps and really start to see these cars come to life under the lights here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As Applegate, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, Aiden Lucas, Redemption Motorsports out in front of this field leading the way. They have Landon Burbage leading our fifth place driver here, leading the rest of the field behind the Redemption team. But you see that 18 of Noah Blackwell trying to work down to his inside. Blackwell looking to try to join the top 5 here for the first time on this evening. Melvin Brangruer, he's now back up into 7th after working himself around Ben Gleason, but Gleason battling strong down on the inside. And here comes Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson, he's been sneaky good here the last few weeks that he's been here at the racetrack. He missed last week, but man, oh man, he continues to keep on impressing, keep on getting these great runs. And him and Brian Haller have been working really good together out there on the speedway. Here to get some great runs, great finishes here. And right now, their Fueled Up Motorsports team looking fresh out there on the speedways. We do see, I think teams have kind of been mixed up again here on the season, chat. We now see Ben Gleason, Chris Getz, Jordan Kreider, and Josh Kreider all in the same Discord together. Aaron Robinson, Danny White, Farrell Robbins, Jonathan Gaston, Michael Ponder Jr. all together in the Old Dogs Racing group chat. Melvin Brangruer kind of all by himself now in the Rubbered Up Motorsports Discord. He may be the last standing member of that Discord over there. And then we see Landon Burbage. He's hanging out with the Weatherman and our official iRacing pace car driver here, Matthew Wood, who is the pace car driver here on the season, up in the Discord together. So it's always interesting to kind of see, who these teams are working with, who they're rolling with out there. We do see Evan Stewart as well. He's all by himself. He's in a Discord channel that is literally called No Team/New Team. Literally no team out there on the racetrack for that 37 ride of Evan Stewart. And for Evan, that's some tough break, man. That's a long night. It's a tough time if you're out there on the speedway, not really knowing what's going on, or when drivers are working together trying to figure out when to come down pit side, make green flag pit stops, when to try to use their pit cycles together and everything else, and not having that teamwork out there definitely hurts him in that category. But also, it's the long night, man. 160 laps around the racetrack with really no one to talk to except for hearing a little bit of conversation over race chat there for that 37 ride. It's a long night, man. Being up there by your lonesome, not really having anyone else, shoot the shit with, or talk strategy with, or just, kind of take a little bit of the weight off your shoulders. And being the only car out there on that team is definitely a tough break for that 37 ride of Evan Stewart, as we did see him pounce off the outside fence right there. That could have been one of those moments where he's just kind of losing focus out there on the speedway, maybe getting a little bit bored, maybe a little bit tired there behind the wheel, and pancaking the outside fence. You got to be very, very careful with that. You can end up with a lot of damage in a quick hurry, as we do see that U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, number 88 ride trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field here. That beautiful 88 of Logan Perryman there in that 16th position, slowly working his way throughout the top 20, trying to race his way up towards the top 10 on the speedway. Same with Dylan Carrier. Dylan now trying to work underneath of Josh Kreider here for the 10th position on the speedway here, as we did see Trenton Johns come down unscheduled pit stop there for the 28 ride, blanking on the track as well, and Jonathan Gaston, both these drivers still a lap down out there on the speedway, and that's unfortunate break for both of those cats here this evening, as they are not out there on the racetrack and right now battling for positions. They're battling for their lives, battling for that free pass the lucky dog out there on the speedways. We do see our pace car down pit side here as well, that premium stock car Car Racing League pace car here of Matthew Wood sitting down pit sign. Now, we haven't seen him out there on the racetrack, and luckily enough, we haven't seen too many caution flags or opportunities for that car to slide out there onto the speedway. Some good, hard, clean green flag racing here this evening, and we'll have to wait and see. You know, I didn't get any updates on what some of this stuff gave us here. We didn't really, oh, there we go. There's some race info from Brian Underwood. So stages are lap 40 and lap 80 again here this evening. We get one fast repair. There are 5 sets of tires behind pit wall, so those tires are going to become very, very vital throughout this evening, making sure you get those fresh tires. See our race leader up into the outside fence. Oh, Applegate, he's still up there. He's still in it, bouncing off that outside wall. He had almost a 2-second lead there between himself and Brian Underwood. Now that lead is going to evaporate quite a bit as Underwood trying to hunt him down. But unfortunately for our race leader, that could have caused a lot of right side damage here. We'll have to wait and see how that Red Bull Racing number 57 handles that contact after bouncing it hard a couple times down through corner number 1 and 2. See if he tries it again, if he gets as close as he did, and if he makes that contact again out there on the racetrack. Looking up, looks like that car is still doing A-OK as he's trying to once again pull away from his teammates here as Underwood rolls in second. Jordan Hand, they're in position number 3, and Aiden Lucas, they're in position number 4. Rounding out a 1, 2, 3, 4 right now for Redemption Motorsports out there on the speedway. Noah Blackwell, they're in 5th with the 2 of Landon Burbage back in 6th. Then we see Ben Gleason, Wyatt Mickelson, Melvin Brengruer, and Josh Kreider rounding out our top 10. Dylan Carrier there in 11th with Jordan Kreider, Danny White, Nathan Brookover, Farrell Robbins, Logan Perryman, Ryan Holler, Michael Durham Jr., Aaron Robinson, Evan Stewart, who's now making his way down pit side. So Stewart going to be one of those first drivers that come down pit road here. I don't know if this is a scheduled or unscheduled pit stop as we have just rolled over that first stage. So Applegate picking up that first stage win. Applegate, Underwood, and our top 10 that you see up there on the scoreboard is how they finished that stage off as Blackwell they were in 5th and Burbage, Gleason, all these other drivers, Mickelson getting some points there, Brengruer, and that 5 of Josh Kreider also earning some stage points there at the end of stage number 1. Now, we're not going to see a caution flag in that first stage break, so we're going to see them stay clean and green out there on the speedway. We will see that stage break and the caution flag fly at the completion of lap number 80. So, for these drivers, it's a long run. Since we saw that first caution flag, that was quite a while ago that we saw that yellow flag fly and we went back to green flag racing. So, it's been a lot of laps. When did we see that caution flag fly? We really saw that come out around lap number 8. So, went back to green flag racing, lap number 11. It's been 33 laps, 34 laps now that we've seen these drivers clean and green out there on the speedway, and majority of them not coming down pit road during any of those first caution flags. And unfortunately for these drivers, it's very, very tough for them to come up with, strategies-wise to different ways to try to put themselves in better positions. We do see Josh Kreider head down pit road. Here comes Aaron Robinson. We did see Grant Applegate already make his pit stop. He rolls back out there onto the racetrack. Same with Wyatt Mickelson. Ryan Holler down pit side. He's coming back out onto the racetrack. Trenton Johns, Jonathan Gasson bring up the rear of the field here, but we're going to see more drivers head down pit road. Here comes the 89. That is Melvin Brenger, Danny White, Brian Underwood. Now down pit side as well as Jordan Hand out in front. He's leading us down the back straightaway. You do see that 20 ride of Aiden Lucas. Lucas looking to try to get around that 11 ride as they're racing here for that race lead out there on the racetrack. We'll see if either of them decide to come down pit side this time. No, they're going to stay out a little bit longer here. So they're going to continue to stay out on the speedway. And Aiden Lucas back out in front, leading laps here on the season. Aiden Lucas, one of those drivers that has won the last 3 races of the series. And right now out in front, right where he likes to be and having that fresh air, that clean air, quickly pulling away from that 11 ride of Jordan Hand, as Hand and a lot of these other drivers that are still inside our top 10 getting getting ready to go down pit side as here comes Logan Perryman. There's the 76 of Farrell Robbins. Here comes the 31 as well of Dylan Carrier. Now we're going to see Aiden Lucas. Here comes Lucas. Here comes Jordan Hand. Here comes Noah Blackwell, Landon Burbage, Ben Gleason, Nathan Brookover, all heading down pit side for their green flag pit stops here this evening. Jordan Grider going to stay out there on the racetrack. The 1-800-GET-BENT number 3 ride get to make his way down pit side here. Now this strategy call early on, going to give up a lot of time to the fresh tires. The fresh tires are going to be able to put down some really fast lap times, able to work themselves and gain a lot of track position. But later in the run, having that little bit better tire may help you kind of catch back up to them, close that gap, and make the pass to get around them. So it's a little bit of a love-hate relationship there with that strategy calls out there on the speedways. We do see Mr. Applegate able to power down. He actually works himself around Michael Ponder Jr. Michael yet to come down pit side here for another time in the middle of this race, so we'll have to wait and see this 13 to head down pit road. But right now has that track position, rolls in position number 2, but if he comes down pit side, could go a lap down in a quick hurry. As Applegate back out in front, he's got about 3.5 seconds between himself and this 6th rider, Brian Underwood. Underwood all the way back here behind him, a big gap actually. He's actually more than that. It's about 5.5 seconds, 5.6 seconds, the gap between Grant Applegate and Brian Underwood. So Applegate down pit road a lot better than what we saw for that 6th ride of Underwood. We did see Wyatt Mickelson. He was able to leapfrog a few of those drivers. He now rolls in 4th. That's Aiden Lucas right there behind him. Jordan Hand there in 6th. Those drivers came down pit side a little bit later than everybody else, so they're going to have the fresher tires on the speedway. See how long it takes for them to really be able to see that, that little extra and see that improvement and see if they can work their way up to the front of the field to start to close these gaps. As you do see the 20 ride already trying to work his way around Wyatt Mickelson for position number 4 on the speedway. Josh Kreider back there in 7th. Noah Blackwell, unfortunately not a great pit stop there for the 18 ride. He slides all the way back now into the 8th position. Same with Landon Burbage, who's back in position number 9. Ben Gleason rounding out our top 10 as Dylan Carrier there in 11th. Melvin Brengruer, Evan Stewart, one of the first drivers to come down pit side during that green flag cycle, rolls there in 13th. Danny White, Nathan Brookover, our top 15 out there on the speedway. Is out in front. It's all Grant Applegate here this evening. Applegate with a very commanding lead, a very solid drive here this evening. Now, different strategies between himself and a couple of these other drivers. We do see Michael Ponder Jr. have some issues right there. He actually went down and off the racetrack there for a little bit. Has some rear end damage on that 13 ride as well. No caution flag, but now just trying to keep that car down towards the apron. Look at all these drivers that are rolling around him, and unfortunately, if he takes that 13 ride now down pit side, he's going to probably end up at least a lap, maybe even 2 laps down there for that 13 machine. A tough break for that 13, but a good break for the rest of the Redemption Motorsports crew, as once again they are sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4 out there on the speedway. All 3 of them, basically, all 4 of them on different strategies here. As we see Applegate, he was down pit road on lap number 43. Brian Underwood came down pit road a couple laps after him on lap 45, and a couple laps after that we saw Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand come down pit road. We see these two still stuck right there together, battling up there on the racetrack, but they are now back about 6 seconds behind Underwood and about 9, almost 10 seconds behind Grant Applegate for this race lead, but they're all sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4 out there on the speedway. As we'll get them ready to keep on battling, keep on duking it out here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, making sure everything's running smoothly over there on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, making sure that everything is working fine here in this one as, yeah. Let's get rid of that bot over there on Twitch. Bots, man. Bots on Twitch are honestly the worst. There are so many bots over there. I'm continuously banning those guys every single night, man. Everyone that pops into my Discord feed or follows me, I just ban them. You can tell because you click on their names and it tells you, their account was created 16 minutes ago. Clearly a bot account and completely yeeted and deleted off the channel. Thank you for not being here anymore. As we see the battle here out in front, that is Applegate who continues to lead the way. Applegate showing these drivers that he may be that car to beat as we inch closer and closer to seeing 100 laps left to go in this race. Start with 160 laps up on the board, almost 60 laps down, 100 laps left to go. We still gotta wait for stage number 2 to come to an end here, as stage number 2 will wrap up in about 23 laps. So we will see that caution flag fly here once again on the evening. And now we did see cautions breeding cautions early in this race. We'll see if that continues on. It kind of happened last week as well, where we saw that stage break come out at lap 80. Things were a little messy at the start, got really cleaned up. We saw this great green flag run until that stage break, and then we saw a couple quick caution flags after that stage break. And then after things kind of got re-cleaned up, everyone kind of got back into a rhythm. We saw these guys go virtually the rest of the race without another caution flag, and saw them go for another, I don't even know, 50, 60, 70 laps or something without a caution flag. Is what's good, Michael? Michael Scott Spencer coming in showing the love as well over there on Facebook. How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Coming in showing the love. Brad Hunt also coming in showing the love with that like on the stream. Sorry, I ended up missing that comment there by my boy Michael Scott coming in showing the love there on Facebook, but we show him the love and everyone the love here on Peacemaker Gaming. Sometimes it's a little delayed, but we try to make sure we get to every single one of these comments and all the amazing Peacemaker fan that comes in and shows the love. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Cheer these amazing drivers on. As down across the line, we will see lap number 60 jump up and onto the board here. So this is our 60th lap of the race. At the completion of this 60 laps, we will have 100 laps left to go here this evening. Now, it seems like 100 laps here around the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway may take quite a little while, but these drivers are laying down some great lap times. Even with those green flag pit stops and everything else, they are clicking off these laps in a quick hurry. As down across the line, here you go, 100 laps of racing action left here this evening, as Grant Applegate has been out in front for a lot of them here this evening. Did not take him long to jump to the front of the field, working himself around Jordan Hand, working himself around, I do believe it was Underwood? No, not Underwood. Who started on the pole? Jordan Hand started in second. Who started out in front? Landon Burbage started out in front. Yeah, Landon started on the pole here, and unfortunately for Landon, he's still back here in that 6th position. He ended up losing that 5th spot to the 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell rounds out our top 5, but Landon Burbage right there on his back bumper, trying to figure out a way to get back inside the top 5 and try to race this Ally Chevrolet back up to the front of the field here. Quickest in qualifying, hoping to try to be the quickest here on the racetrack as well, but right now, not having the run that he was hoping for and falling back into that 6th position. Definitely wants to try to gain a couple more spots and roll back up to the front of the field.
Break free with the new Opera GX, the browser that puts you in control, with a brand new design that frees up even more pixels for personalization and an inventory of features to up your game at every level. Like GX Control to help rein in your resources with integrated limiters for RAM, CPU, and network. A sidebar for direct access to your favorite side quests, streams, and posts. And built-in privacy tools like ad and tracker blockers and free no-log VPN. Check into GX Corner for the latest news, deals, and free games. But what really makes our hit different is mods, giving you the power to change everything from animated wallpapers to themes, sounds, music, and shaders, so you can change everything. Get Opera GX.
What nourishes you more? Is it the strength you build or the strength you share? Beef is packed with protein, a key nutrient that helps build and repair muscle. So grab a bite and do some real bodybuilding. Together, we bring more. Strengthen your day at beefitswhatsfordinner.com.
These drivers, but unfortunately for the 28 of Trenton Johns here, Trenton just unfortunately goes up the racetrack a little bit, opens up the door for the 79 ride, and Danny White quickly tries to fill that gap and tries to slide in there, and unfortunately making the contact here with this 28 ride. I see the flames as he's washed up the racetrack there a little bit, rolling out of the throttle, and 79 comes in with a quick head of steam, ends up making that contact. Pretty good damage there to that left rear quarter panel of the 28, front end contact and door damage there for Trenton, and for that 79 of Danny White right there as they get sideways on the racetrack, and then we're going to see this 28. Oh no, tough break right there as well. Oh man, we didn't see that initially. There's the 88 right here as the 28 sliding sideways, going around. You take a look at Logan Perryman. Perryman, this is the second time this has really happened to him here this evening. Just wrong place, wrong time, making the wrong call. Unfortunately, could not move down or up the racetrack quick enough and drives right into the back end of the 28 ride. Heavy front end damage again for that U.S. Army, U.S. Navy number 88 machine. The 3 ride of Jordan Kreider getting a little damage there as well as he got into that right rear quarter panel of the 88. You see that right rear quarter panel now busted up there on the 88 machine as well. So good damage for Logan Perryman again. Pretty solid damage there for Trenton Johns, and for that 3 ride getting some pretty good damage as well, as we did see a bunch of different drivers come down pit road here being led by our race leader. So we did see Grant Applegate come down pit side. We saw about 7 drivers electing not to come down pit road. Aiden Lucas being one of them, stays out there on the speedway. Same with Jordan Hand, Josh Kreider, Landon Burbage, Jordan Kreider, Nathan Brookover, and Farrell Robbins. Now our top 7 here on the speedway, not coming back down pit road there during that caution flag. Then we see Grant Applegate now score back in 8th with Brian Underwood there in 9th. Noah Blackwell rounding out our top 10. Dylan Carrier, Wyatt Mickelson, Melvin Brentford, Danny White, Aaron Robinson, Evan Stewart, Ben Gleason, Michael Durham Jr., Ryan Haller, Chris Getz, Logan Perryman, Michael Ponder Jr., Jonathan Gaston, and Trenton Johns rounding out our field here this evening. As we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing, we do have a new race leader here again on the afternoon. It's the Tracker Bones Bass Pro Shop number 20 of Aiden Lucas. It's Aiden getting ready to go to battle, getting ready to duke it out here again this evening, as that 20 ride trying to hold off his redemption teammate for a lot of this race. Him and Jordan have been right there, nose to tail, or door to door out there on the racetrack for a lot of laps, but late in this stage, they're looking to try to cash in, and we may see some of those tires or some of the drivers on the different strategy there a little deeper in the field, race their way back up to the front, try to pick up this stage win as quickly the 20 ride back onto the lap pedal. He's able to get a great jump quickly, clears a couple of drivers. Heartbreaker here. Tough break as we do see one driver up into the outside fence. That was Nathan Brookover. Brookover unfortunately falling like a rock here off this restart. Let's take a look here, as it looks like the 57 eventually going to get a good launch right here, a big run. He tries to get to the inside of the 8 ride and ends up getting him a little bent to the shape. Looks like maybe he missed the shift right there, where the 8 machine just pins it up towards the outside fence, allows all these drivers to go by, and unfortunately for Brookover, goes from inside the top 10 to now all of a sudden back in that 18th position. As Aiden Lucas leads the way, we do see that caution flag come back out. So more issues out here on the speedway. It looks like Michael Durham Jr. potentially now running into some problems here, as him and his teammate in the Ghost Ride, or at least 2 drivers running the same paint schemes here. But looks like Durham loose there through corner number 3 and 4. Ends up going around. You see Trenton John trying to avoid him right there, but the 0-0 hard up into the outside fence there. Tough break for Michael Durham Jr. Good to see him out there on the racetrack, though. I know he's probably got a lot going through his mind right now, and a lot of things, a lot of emotions, and our hearts and prayers are with him and his family here this afternoon. And a tough break there for him. Hopefully he gets that car fixed up and cleaned up back out there on the racetrack, as the 28 right there behind him sees him getting loose, sees that car sliding around. He gets onto the apron. Then he's going to get loose himself here. He's going to go around. You see Gaston having to move around him. Everyone else trying to avoid those ghost cars down through corner number 4 in the front straightaway. And luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage there to the 28. Not enough fortunate breaks there for Michael Durham Jr., but he does have that quick repair and hopefully going to get that 00 fixed back up and back out there onto the speedway as he continues to roll. Going to head down pit side, look for those repairs right now. As Aiden Lucas leading the way here, we're going to jump into a quick in-race interview from our amazing sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the U.S. and we have a wide range of services, but our main focus is our custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Alrighty, thank you, Miss Harley and Prestige Enterprises, for giving us the great commercial break right there. It's my boy Justin Toll. How are you, Justin? How you doing this Saturday afternoon, brother? Hopefully you're enjoying your evening, at least. I know we're not doing any dirt track racing. I know you're not a huge fan of the asphalt driving, but gotta pay the bills up here in the broadcast booth, you know, brother. We gotta pay them bills. Unfortunately, not enough people able to donate stars and everything else, or not enough subscribers and everything, and members in the old Peacemaker members group over there on YouTube. So we gotta pay the bills. We gotta put on some racing. We gotta do whatever we can to be busy up here in the broadcast booth, and that means some racing no matter what it is. As Justice, that was a great commercial. It was a great commercial. A huge shout out there to Prestige Enterprises and Miss Harley for coming together with that one, giving us a good commercial break here. Justin says, I'm tired of the weather being hot then cold again. It's annoying. Yeah, it is truly annoying. One day it's super nice. You're able to kind of walk out there with a t-shirt on and maybe a pair of pants, or maybe even shorts if you're warm enough out there. Then the next day you're right back to a hoodie and a winter jacket and wearing winter boots and the whole 9 yards. It's not a lot of fun, man. We deal with it tremendously up here in Canada. It is not fun playing that hot and cold game, and that's usually where we see a lot of people get sick and everything else, because you're dipping from those hot and cold temperatures. Your body doesn't really know what to do, and that's where we see a lot of people unfortunately get sick here throughout the spring and fall. And right now that's where we're at. We're at that stage right now, and right now we're getting closer to the end of stage number 2 here in this one. As Justin says, my sub ran out. I quit. Too much toxicity for me, so I'll just watch the asphalt crew. Yeah, unfortunately, brother, it's tough. Gene says, I was in a blizzard yesterday and I was still in shorts. Hey, you know what? I love it. Someone's got to be that guy. That is for certain, man. Someone's got to be that guy that still wears shorts, even if it's minus 10, 20 outside. You got to have that one guy that's out there in shorts trying to enjoy the weather no matter what it's like. As we go back to Green Flag Racing, this stage quickly coming to a close. We see those fresh tires that are Grant Applegate trying to race his way back up to the front of the field. Our stage 1 winner now rolling back there in position number 3, battling door to door here with Landon Burbage as this stage ends at the completion of lap number 80, and we inch closer and closer to that one. Closer and closer to seeing this stage come to a close. Another caution flag unfortunately coming out, but nonetheless, we'll see these drivers stack back up and battling here again. As there you go, down low, those fresh tires, just showing you how good the fresh tires are here. But right now, those drivers that they're passing have that extra set back behind pit wall that they may be able to use here at the start of stage number 3 here this evening, or keep them back there in the bank for late in this race. As Applegate takes the race lead back away, Noah Blackwell put the pressure there to his back bumper as Blackwell rolls there in position number 2, sticking right with that 57 ride, not letting him run away and open up that big gap like he did before. That couple of our latest caution flags. Brian Underwood now up and into third as Dylan Carrier there in position number 4. Wyatt Mickelson up inside the top 5 as we do see that caution flag come back out here this evening. This one's going to get a little rough here, as I do believe we're going to see Michael Ponder Jr. and potentially that 28 ride of Trenton Johns. There you go. That's where we're really going to see this one kind of get started. Trenton Johns out there on the racetrack again, running into some problems here. Down low, sends that 28 ride in. There was issues in front of him as well. Looks like Ryan Haller running into problems. I'm not sure if the 28 saw it or what, but the rear end just kicks out around on him. The 00 ride, nowhere to go. The couple of these drivers up into the outside fence, bouncing off each other right there, and unfortunately more heavy damage for that 28 ride. Michael Ponder goes around, but we did see Ryan Haller run into some problems there before this as well. So let's take a look here. Haller down the back straightaway, trying to make the move around this 37 ride of Evan Stewart. And oh, right there. Tries to come back up in front of Evan Stewart, bounces it off that outside fence pretty hard right here, man. That was some pretty serious contact. Full speed down the back straightaway, unfortunately up the racetrack and bounced it off that outside fence. I think that's what maybe the 00 and what the 28 ride was seeing, and unfortunately just getting bent out of shape, trying to get that car checked up, trying to avoid the 99 ride. You see broke over up into the outside fence, trying to avoid him as down low, the 00, the 66, they're going to come together, go up the racetrack. Unfortunate contact there for the 66 ride as Ben Gleason, really nowhere for him to go. And then we see the 8 unfortunately get another piece there of that 28 ride, and the 13 Michael Ponder Jr. also going to get collected there as well. So a couple things happening, a couple drivers running into problems here deeper in the pack, and unfortunately some pretty good contact there for a bunch of them, and still head down pit side, look to try to get their cars repaired and hopefully roll back out onto the racetrack as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, and we get closer and closer here to potentially seeing this stage end under a caution flag. It may be a very short run to finish off this stage here this evening as, yo, my boy, Justin Toll. Justin coming in, showing the love with the 100-star dono, setting it off here in this one. I appreciate that, brother, coming in, dropping the 100-star dono here this afternoon. As my old man, my dad, Ben Bebo, Ben coming in, showing the love as well. How are you, father? Coming in, dropping that heart reaction here on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Dad, coming in, showing the love. As Justin says, are those teammates right there that got together at the end? My eyes suck. I don't know if they're officially teammates or not. They are both running the same paint schemes, but your eyes definitely aren't that bad. They're definitely not that bad, and it's not the first time in this race that we've seen these two get together and have problems out there on the racetrack, as the 28 and the 00 ride, they've gotten together a couple times here on the evening, unfortunately giving each other a bit of a rough go here this afternoon. Definitely been a rough run for the 28 ride of Trenton Johns, as we get them stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. That official iRacing pace car gonna head back down pit side as Ben says, we are good. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good, Dad. What are you guys up to tonight? What are you guys doing here this afternoon? You guys out partying or what? It's past your bedtime, isn't it, old man? What in the world? It's 10:30 at night. What are you doing still up? I figured you'd be in bed 2 hours ago. Didn't you go to bed at like 8:30, 7:30, something like that? You guys are too old to be up at this time. What in the world? Just says, yeah, looked like the same car. Yeah, definitely the same looking cars, just different numbers. And I'm imagining that they may be teammates. They may not be teammates. As go my boy JT! Justin coming in, setting it off again. Justin with another 100-star dono. Says, hey, be nice to the old people. Be nice to the old people, he says. Dan says, nothing, relax. And we like that. We like that. Nothing wrong with relaxing. It says, not that old yet. Not that old yet. I don't know. You're getting there. You're getting there. The big question's going to be, which one's going to be like Grandpa, which one's going to be like Grandma. My grandpa, he didn't mind sleeping in a little bit, until a reasonable time of like 7, 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. And then my grandma, she was the one that would, she would go to bed, fairly early, a little bit earlier, but not super early, but she would be up like really early. I remember growing up and spending the night there, and it'd be like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and she'll be getting up, making coffee, and watching TV, and watching the news and stuff, and being up that early in the morning. So I'm not sure which one it's going to be. If it's going to be my mother or my father, and which one may be the early bird. I feel like it's going to be my dad that's going to be the early bird. My mom, I think, likes to sleep in a little bit more than he does. As Grant Applegate back out in front of this race, looking to try to pick up stage win number 2. He was able to pick up that first stage win and just ran the quickest lap of this race. So the quickest lap just laid down here on lap 60. No, lap 70 something here. Where we at? Lap 78. Laying down that quickest lap time here this evening. And he's looking to run away with this one, looking to try to pick up this stage win here this evening. Another playoff point here is my boy Dalton Wicker. What's good, Wicker? Wicker says, "What's up, Peacemaker? What's up, Dalton? How are you, brother? How you doing here in this one, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing?" Good to see the Tiny Toes ride up here, cheering on some of these other drivers and tuning in to another one of these broadcasts, man. I appreciate it as we do see this 57 ride leading the way down the back straightaway as Brian Underwood trying to hunt him down. Dylan Carrier back there in third. Noah Blackwell falls back into that fourth position with Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 5. Melvin Brangrewer, Danny White, door to door down across the line here as they battle down across the line as stage number 2 will come to a close here this afternoon. And there is the caution flag officially ending this stage. So Danny White in 6th, Melvin Brangrewer back there in 7th, Aiden Lucas, Evan Stewart, and I do believe it is the 11 rider, Jordan Hand, or potentially the 24 of Aaron Robinson, who will pick up that 10th and final stage point position here this evening. I do believe it goes to Jordan Hand, Aaron Robinson back in 11th with Landon Burbage, Michael Durham Jr., Farrell Robbins, and Chris Getz rounding out our top 15 as we'll get ready to go back to battle here in just a little bit. As Justin says, yeah, my grandparents were that way. Yeah, definitely. One gets up way too early. The other one sleeps in at least a little bit. And my dad says, yeah, you and Nicole would have coffee with her too. Yeah, I know. That's probably what stunted my growth. That's why I'm not very tall. No, I think that's a couple back surgeries. I think that was the couple back surgeries, especially the first one. I don't think I've grown an inch. If anything, I've shrunk since grade 7 in that first back surgery. But after that first one, I don't think I grew an inch. Outwards, I definitely grew, but upwards, that stunted it right there. I'm probably like a slinky. If they took all the nuts and bolts out of me, I'm sure I'd probably like just slinky out and I'd be 6'4", something crazy. I don't know. We don't know. You never know. It's here we go. Driver's going to head back down pit side. They're looking for fuel. They're looking for tires and everything else that they desire. Here this evening is our stage 1 and 2 winner. Here this evening as Ben says, that's your mom's fault for being too short too. It's probably her fault too. Maybe a little bit of the genetics. I don't know where I chalk it up. I don't know if I chalk it up to genetics or potentially the back surgery right there kind of in the middle of my growth spurt. You know, I don't know. It's a little bit of all that combined. The coffee, the genetics from my mother being short, and then the back surgery in there as well. Just the kind of the trifecta, the perfect tornado right there. And unfortunately, your boy never, I don't think I ever reached anything past 5'10". Man, I wish I was a lot taller than that, though. I wish I was a lot taller. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, we'll get ready to duke it out here as we're just over the halfway marker here in this race, halfway through this event here this evening. As Albert Anderson says, hashtag Peacemaker fan. Yes, Sirski, Peacemaker fam up in the house showing the love here in this one. How are you, Albert? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful night as well. And Dalton, hopefully you're having yourself a great Saturday here this evening as well. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, but first let's see if we can pull Grant up here for a little in-race interview. Let's see if we can pull him up here into the booth. Hey Grant, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Grant, man, able to pick up stage win number 1 and stage number 2 there. Obviously a little strategy there with the late stage caution flags coming out, really mixing things up there at the front of the field. But you're able to win the first 2 stages of this race, earn yourself some of those bonus points for the playoffs, and also earn those extra bonus points to race your way into this championship here this evening, man. Take us back through this race and what's kind of going through your mind right now as we get ready to go back to green flag racing.
Oh yeah, first stage was just kind of testing out what was going to work and what wasn't, and the longer the stage went, the better I got. So I finally figured out a line that I liked running. So stage 1 was just everybody figuring everything out, and I feel like I felt it or figured it out the fastest. But yeah, then stage 2 was just there was no caution, so I kept the gap that I had and then pitted early so that I had tires quickest and I could just save them, which is what I was doing. And literally just as I was about to start pushing it is when the caution came out. But yeah, my tires were great. I like the line I'm running. I feel like it gives me options, so I feel pretty good about the race.
Absolutely. Well, so far you're proving that you are the car to beat. Grant, good luck out there. Have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth by the end of the night.
Hope so.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our Stage 1 and Stage 2 winner here this evening, Grant Applegate, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, our final stage of the evening. Just under 80 laps of racing action left here this evening, and we're going to get these drivers rocking and rolling back out there on the speedway. Is my mom now into the chat? Oh God, we're going to have a family dispute up here in the chat. Dad says your mom is coming online. Uh-oh. She says, I'm not that short. I'm 5'4". Mom, that's still pretty short. That's not very tall. It's not very tall. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's taller than, like technical, short people, like, midgets and everything, but still pretty short. But we were talking about how I'm fairly short. I'm not very tall. And, we chalk it up to a little contact there on the racetrack. Look out! Around goes the 6 ride. Oh, baby, here we go. Late in this race, the final stage, already creating some fireworks here this evening. And one of our front runners on the afternoon, the Dance for Life number 6 ride, the Kroger Mazda Racing ride. Last season's champion, Brian Underwood, gonna go around, and unfortunately, the caution flag, I don't think, has actually came back out here. No, caution flag has not been thrown, so this is even more of a heartbreaker for Brian Underwood. As the contact was being made, all these drivers are bouncing around here. He gets bounced around a little bit. I don't know if he got loose on corner exit right there, or maybe a little help from the 31 of Dylan Carrier. Unfortunately, though, for this 6 right, let's take another look at it here. Look at his teammate down low. That's Applegate. Slideways out of corner number 4. The 6 right does virtually the same thing. Bounces off the 31, up into the outside fence, and then he's going to go around and shoot down the racetrack. As you see, the 5, the 18, they go for the pass through the grass here, trying to keep themselves out of trouble. And unfortunately for the 6 right, down and off the racing surface, even though he's turned around. Same with Jordan Hand, his teammate, who goes around right there as well. Both those drivers off the racetrack, no caution flag on the racetrack, and we keep it clean and green out there on the speedway. Well, let's eliminate the clean. It was still green, though. No caution flag, and now they are stuck deep in the field at the back of the pack here, sitting back in the 18th and 17th position and quite a ways away from the rest of the field. As Applegate has raced his way back out in front, he leads this race once again as Noah Blackwell up into second. Jordan Kreider trying to hold on to third here as the 31 of Dylan Carrier, the 5 of Josh Kreider up inside the top 5 now. Wyatt Mickelson back in 6th, Landon Burbage there in 7th. Melvin Brengruer, Aiden Lucas, and Danny White rounding out our top 10 as my dad says, talk to you later, old man, talk to you later, dad, talk to you later, mom. I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful night, sleep well, enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, and you guys will see me back in here live tomorrow afternoon for not 1, not 2, but 3 races tomorrow. 3 races tomorrow. We will be jam-packed. We will be very busy. We got a full NASCAR-length race at Las Vegas tomorrow morning, starting at 11 o'clock until about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock, we got our Outcast Racing League, which will run from about 4 until about 6 o'clock Eastern time, and then at 7:30 we'll be going back to battle with the Big Block Modifieds there Sunday night for another amazing race. So we're going to be fully jam-packed tomorrow evening. Lots of racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. As right now we still got this race to complete, and we got a race at the front of the field. It's Noah Blackwell who's looking for the race lead, and is down low. He's looking to make that pass to work himself around Grant Applegate. Now here comes Dylan Carrier as well. Carrier right there in that Phoenix Esports NJB Designs ride, looking to try to join this battle here at the front of the field for the race lead. Applegate though able to put that power down, rolls nice and easy down through corner 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, able to hold off that 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. As Blackwell sits there in that second spot, the 31 trying to put the pressure now to his back bumper is Jordan Kreiner and Josh Kreiner rounding out our top 5 here on the Speedway. Landon Burbage back there in 6th with Aiden Lucas back in 7th. Wyatt Mickelson, Melvin Brengerer, and Aaron Robinson rounding out the top 10 here this evening. As we inch closer and closer to the 100 laps into this race, we're going to jump into a Viper Esports. Since bad race for the 28 ride, just unfortunate. Yeah, very unfortunate. Tough breaks out there for the 28. Tough breaks for a few of these drivers out there on the Speedway, and unfortunately, some of those drivers just not having the runs that they were hoping for here this evening, and that's a tough break for a lot of them as they just kind of kept on running into issues, kept on running into problems out there on the Speedway, and really just not being able to progress through some of that issues. And now obviously having that extra damage, having to spend extra time down pit side, not having that quick repair anymore for the race car, you tend to end up a few laps down. And for the 28 ride, a bunch of laps down. Obviously a couple other drivers having those problems as well, and Jonathan Gaston still just trying to race his way back on the lead lap. I do believe Gaston is now 1 lap down here, trying to get that luck of the Irish and trying to race his way back onto the lead lap as Jordan Hand, he's rolling there at 17th. We did see Brian Underwood come down pit side as well, so the damage that he may have gotten after bouncing off the 31 and that outside wall, falling back into the 18th position. The 6 right now back out there onto the racetrack, but he is down a couple laps now on the Speedway, and that's a tough break for the 6 machine. We'll see Nathan Brook over a few laps down. Same with Michael Ponder Jr. is making his way back down pit side. Logan Perryman, Ryan Haller, all off the racetrack. Trenton Johns also off the Speedway here. So we've lost a few of these competitors here this evening on the Speedway, and more drivers running into problems out there on the racetrack as we see a battle here for second. Hang on to it. Woo, baby, getting drove up the racetrack right there. Things were getting tight in a quick hurry as Dylan Carrier and Noah Blackwell were right there within striking distance of our race leader, but down through 3 and 4. The 18 ride washes up the racetrack, runs that 31 ride almost into the outside fence. Carrier smart about it, gets onto the binders there, avoids contact between both the wall and the 18 ride, gives up that position. Now going to have to try to battle back and see if he can find another way around that 18 ride here this evening, as Applegate out in front, trying to keep these drivers all back there behind him, trying to keep them back there at bay, and looking to try to pick up the win here this evening. It's some great racing here this afternoon with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as out in front, Applegate leads the way, and we'll jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up, as we're about 100 laps into this race, about 60 laps left to go here this evening, and we're going to jump into our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. full crank it up session right there. These drivers giving us a great look at the sights and sounds all around Charlotte Motor Speedway. As Grant Applegate continuing to lead the way here in this race. Applegate out in front, but right there behind him, starting to close the gap and starting to reel closer and closer to his back bumper is a pair of his teammates. Unfortunately for the 6th ride, that is Brian Underwood. Underwood now a few laps down out there on the racetrack as the last season's champions, number 6 ride. He's trying to hold up his teammate here a little bit as Aiden Lucas marching his way towards the front of the field there in that Tracker Boats number 20 ride. I think even his teammates want to see someone else up in victory lane as the 6 try to hold off the 20 machine, throwing some blocks out there. Aiden hit some great runs, now looking down low, looking to try to clear that 6th ride to bring himself a little bit closer to our race leader as he is chasing down history here in the 20 ride. Applegate looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane and trying to lock himself into the playoffs here this year as our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. Caution flag did not come out thankfully here this afternoon, as it's good to always see my boy Ryan Haller up in the chat, usually post-race, not during the race. Obviously not the run that Hayes Kemp was looking for here this evening, as Brian Carrier says, let's go Dylan. Cheered on Dylan out there on the speedway. Unfortunately for Dylan, looks like they handling of that car is starting to fade away. He's starting to fall back there throughout the field, and unfortunately falling backwards here in a quick hurry. But for Aiden Lucas, he's getting stronger and stronger here, and this is what we've seen out of that 20 ride over the last few weeks, and he's been able to pick up the last 3 checkered flags and now trying to chase down his teammate Grant Applegate, looking to try to put himself up into victory lane for the 4th race in a row. Can Aiden Lucas get it done and win 4 races straight here on the league in the series, which would be an absolutely amazing feat? Those two out in front now have quite a bit of a commanding lead, almost 4 seconds back there behind that 20 ride. We see this 18 and Noah Blackwell. Blackwell rolls in 3rd with Wyatt Mickelson now into position number 4. So a great run again here for Wyatt. He's looking to try to get this crew their first top 5 run. He's been right there just outside the top 5. He's had a couple good top 10 runs, but here tonight looking bound to potentially try to put himself up inside the top 5. Now let's see if he can finish this thing off as Landon Burbage back there behind him rolls in position number 5. Dylan Carrier falling back into that 6th position as Aaron Robinson having a good run here himself there in 7th. Danny White back in 8th with Josh Kreider and Evan Stewart rounding out our top 10, but it looks like Stewart may be getting passed right here by that 76 ride of Farrell Robbins, our first race winner of the season down at Daytona. As here go the 37 ride, looks like he's gonna make that hard left-hand turn and head down pit side, so making that green flag pit stop, which could be potentially their final pit stop of the afternoon. It's been about 40 laps since we saw these drivers down pit side. We'll have to wait and see if this could be potentially that final pit stop of the evening, as they are within 40 laps to complete this race. Now we may see a few more drivers trying to extend it a little bit just in case if there is a late race caution flag in NASCAR overtime, if they don't need fuel and they can stay out there on the racetrack. Sometimes that track position outduels any of that, the tires or anything else out there on the speedway. As Hayes Kemp says, 37 car. Yeah, the 37 car right there making a quick call to head down pit road. Now here comes the 5 ride as well. Josh Kreider wins the W machine. The Lonnie Kreider number 5 ride heads down pit side here for his final green flag pit stop as Applegate continuing to lead this race. But Aiden Lucas is right there. He's only half a car length, a couple car lengths back off our race leader. Both of them end up getting a little piece of the outside fence right there down the back straightaway. Unfortunately, Aiden gonna lose a little bit of drive down and off the corner right there, and looks like that 57 Applegate will stay out in front and continue to lead this race. As Jaden says, let's go Evan. Cheering on Evan out there on the speedway. Yeah, Evan a lone wolf out there here this evening. Unfortunately, when we were looking there through the Discord, he had no one in the Discord with him. He was just a lone wolf out there on the speedway, and honestly that is very tough to do, especially in a long race, 160 laps. Really no one to talk to, no one to chat with, and just kind of man on an island out there on the speedway. And for him making some full strategy call, some big moves, trying to see if that could help him put himself up into victory lane. As here we go, Grant Applegate gonna head down pit side. So the Red Bull Racing Auto Value Parts Stores number 57 ride heads down pit side, gives up that race lead. He's going to bring the 2 ride of Landon Burbage, the 24 of Aaron Robinson, and that 79 of Danny White with them here down pit road. Here comes Jordan Hand as well in the 11 after the unfortunate contact on the restart, going for that slide down through the infield, still trying to rebound from that as Haynes says, I'll remember that 37 car, laugh out loud. Oh baby, maybe a little bit of bad blood in the water there between the 37 and the 99. We'll have to keep an eye out on that one as Aiden Lucas does head down pit side, and that's going to forfeit the race lead over to this 10 car. So Wyatt Mickelson leading some laps here at Charlotte. The 10 ride out in front. Looks like he's going to try to run a few extra laps here, see if he can make it that much better for his tires later in this race. We'll see if he heads down pit road this time as him and Dylan Carrier both staying out there extending this clean flag run right now, and that's putting a lot of other drivers into a tough situation as if they don't come down pit road yet, that could potentially trap some of them down a lap. But here we go. Wyatt Mickelson, Dylan Carrier, both down pit side. Aiden Lucas rolling back out onto the racetrack here, and looks like Wyatt able to come out. Oh no, we thought that he would be tight together as the caution flag comes out. Oh man, this is really going to make things interesting now. So the caution flag does come out. Some of these drivers have a couple or a few laps of green flag racing on their tires. A few of the other ones just coming back out onto the speedway. That's a tough break out there for some of them as we'll see where this kind of stacks everyone up, where this kind of gets everyone wound in there, and if this traps any of these drivers a lap down or keeps them back behind our race leaders here at the time of that caution flag. As Melvin Brandbrewer going to run into some problems here. The 89 ride was down pit road. Not sure what happens. He gets back onto the throttle, gets rolling. I'm not sure if he loses a tire or something here, but gets back onto the throttle. The car just goes around and it washes in to the racing surface right there. Heavy front left damage, and now rear end damage as well as he throws it into reverse, trying to keep that thing off the racetrack and collecting any other drivers. But I don't know if he had a loose tire or something, but as he's rolling back out onto the racetrack, he's shifted up through the gears and trying to build up that speed, rolling back out onto the racetrack. It looks like the rear end's just going to step out and around on him as he steps on it right there. Car shoots down into that inside fence as he bounces off that inside wall. Slides right back up onto the racetrack right there. Luckily enough, no one else getting collected, but that's where we see that caution flag fly. So that's really going to mix things up here as Wyatt Mickelson and Dylan Carrier both head down pit side now in their rides, and that's going to forfeit the race lead back over to Grant Applegate. So Applegate now out in front. Ian Lucas in position number 2. Ben Gleason looks like he may get the free pass. We do see Noah Blackwell. He's behind the official Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car there, driven by Matthew Wood. Matthew putting on a great show, giving us a good look at that car out there on the speedway as he rolls in front of Noah Blackwell and Landon Burbage. Farrell Robbins, Josh Kreider, the 24 of Aaron Robinson, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, Michael Durham Jr. All these drivers hoping to see a wave around right here, all hoping to get back around the official iRacing pace cars. Our race leaders back there behind them. Grant Applegate, Aiden Lucas, Wyatt Mickelson now going to restart in third. Dylan Carrier will come out of the pits in position number 4. Ben Gleason will get lined up in 5th here on the racetrack in the 66 ride. Blackwell, Burbage, Farrell Robbins, all these other drivers going to get that wave around in back on the lead lap and back into this action here this evening as Hey, it's Kev says, I'm joking. It's whatever. Laugh out loud. Go Wyatt. What did he do to you, bud? Oh, no. Hooked me, ended my night. Laugh out loud, says Case Kev. Oh, gosh. The drama. It builds. Unfortunate contact. I mean, it happens. And unfortunately, we're going to see it time and time again. We may see it a couple more times here this evening. We may even see it between teammates. As I know Applegate, he is hungry for a race win, but Aiden Lucas trying to chase some history here, trying to pick up 4 straight wins in the season. He's won the last 3. He's looking to win this one as well, trying to put himself into victory lane 4 weekends in a row. We'll have to wait and see if he can get it done. He definitely seemed to have the faster car there later in that run. Applegate was struggling there a little bit, trying to just keep him back there at bay, and Aiden kept getting runs back to his rear bumper and everything else, so we'll have to wait and see what these two can do late in this race. Is Wyatt Mickelson right there as well in position number 3. Now you do see the 8 ride. Now he is a couple laps down for the 8 machine, but some of these lap down drivers are going to stay there in front of our race leaders. You'll see Michael Ponder Jr., the 87 ride there as well of Chris Getz. And then you finally see our 4th place driver, Dylan Carrier. Carrier back there in position number 4. Ben Gleason there in 5th. And then you start to see some of these other drivers that were able to get that wave around and back out there onto the lead lap. Farrell Robbins, Landon Burbage, Noah Blackwell, Josh Kreider. All these drivers got to stay single file as double file up at the front of the field as we go back to Green Flag Racing on what could be our final restart of the evening. Our final restart of the day here in this one, potentially, as Grant Applegate getting a great launch and a great drive down the front straightaway. It's going to bring Wyatt Mickelson right there with them. As Mickelson up into 2nd, Aiden Lucas back there in 3rd, as Dylan Carrier quickly able to work himself through some of that lap traffic scene with Ben Gleason. As they get around them, here comes Noah Blackwell. Here comes Landon Burbage. Jordan Hand trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field here, as well as the 24, Aaron Robinson and Josh Kreider, who's rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. Is out in front, Grant Applegate leading the way. Applegate has shown that he's got some very good speed, especially on the short runs, and quickly opening up a bit of a lead between himself and Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson about 0.6 of a second back there behind our race leader, Aiden Lucas, rolling there in position number 3. Now, it seems like it takes a few laps for this 20 ride to really kind of get that momentum built up, kind of get back into that swing and groove of things before he starts to march his way back up towards the front of the field. So we'll have to wait and see if you'll have enough time, if you'll have enough car to try to race his way back up and around Wyatt Mickelson, and see if he can try to race his way around that 57 to jump into the race lead. And some great racing here in this one, as yeah, definitely lots of racing left in the season. Definitely lots of racing left. Partially why I stopped racing myself. Jaden, brother, why you ever stop racing, brother? Get back in here. Get back in on the fun. Brother, we miss seeing you out there on the racetrack, man. We love seeing you up in the comment section and watching and cheering these drivers on, but we like to see you out there on the racetrack as well. We always love to see that 74 car out there on the speedway, as Grant Applegate leading the way here late in this race, but that gap's starting to get a little bit smaller. Here comes Wyatt Mickelson. Here comes Aiden Lucas. It takes a little while for this 20 ride to kind of get fired up, but once he does, this car gets very, very fast in a quick hurry, and he's helping pushing that 10 ride right there. Mickelson to the back bumper of our race leader. Grant Applegate has a storm of brewing back there behind him, and he is starting to feel that pressure. He has got to be picture perfect, got to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay. Is now here goes a move from the 20 ride. Here comes Aiden Lucas down low. He's looking to try to take that 2nd spot back away from Wyatt Mickelson, and if he can't make quick work of this 10 ride, if they continue to battle door to door, could potentially allow Grant Applegate to open up the lead that he needs, save the tire that he may need to hold these drivers off, as Aiden trying to get this pass done in a quick hurry. The 10 ride to his outside. They're still door to door, as Dylan Carrier right there behind them in position number 4 and looking for more. Noah Blackwell now ready to our top 5 as that Toyota rolls into that 5th position. Ben Gleason back to 6. There we see Landon Burbage in the Ally Chevrolet rolling there in 7th, with Jordan Hand, Aaron Robinson, and Josh Kreider rounding out our top 10. Farrell Robbins back in 11th, and then we see Michael Durham Jr. in position number 12. Now he is a lap down out there on the speedway. Same with Danny White. Chris Getz as well in the 14 ride. There he lapped down, as well as Evan Stewart, Jonathan Gaston, Brian Underwood, Jordan Kreider, all a lap down. Nathan Brook over multiple laps down out there in the 8 ride, rolls in 19th. Melvin Brengruer a few laps down there in 20th. Michael Ponder Jr. a bunch of laps down back in 20th. 21st, and Logan Perryman, Ryan Haller, Trenton Johns off the racetrack. 3 drivers have officially loaded up their rides and loaded them onto the haulers here this afternoon, but we still have 21 drivers competing, battling, and racing out there on the speedway. And they're all being led by Grant Applegate. Is Applegate out in front? Aiden Lucas, though, able to finally complete that pass around Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson actually slides back into 4th as Dylan Carrier gets around him as well. Carrier now into position at number 3, and he is all over the back bumper of that 20 ride, putting the pressure to the back bumper of Aiden Lucas here in this one. As man, oh man, it's been some great racing here, man. It's been some great battling all evening long as Ryan Haller dead. Haller on the hauler. Haller on the hauler. We like that. You should put that on the back bumper of your race car, Ryan. You should put that on the back bumper, that's for certain. Lucas needs to keep the streak alive. Does he need to keep the streak alive? I don't know. My new catchphrase, laugh out loud. That's exactly your new catchphrase. 100%. You know what? Change your company name, brother. Change your company name. That's what you need to make your company. Maybe even start a podcast. Haller on the hauler. Start a podcast, outdoor podcast. We'll get you up on a race car hauler, and you can do your podcast from the roof of it. That's what you need. That's what you need. Yep, next car, 100%, 100%. As Applegate continuing to hold these guys off, but he's feeling that pressure still. They are right there ready to pounce. One mistake, one slip up, one bad set of corners, and we can see Aiden Lucas back out in front using that fresh air to run away with what could be his 4th win in a row. And he's taking a peek down to the inside here, seeing if he can get that run underneath that 57. If he can come out of the corner right tight to that left rear quarter panel of Applegate, could potentially try to drag him back there a little bit with those aerodynamics and see if he can try to pull door to door with that 57. Applegate up to the extreme top shelf, the 20 ride down on the very bottom. Now we see that 57 scrubbing the outside fence ever so slightly. They're going to go door to door down the back straightaway. A little side draft right there out of the 20 ride. He's going to try to stay there down into corner number 3. The 57 sends it in there deep, but so does it Aiden Lucas. They're door to door for the race lead, and here comes that 31 ride, the Phoenix Esports machine of Mr. Dylan Carrier. Carrier, who started this race with a couple penalties from last week, had to go down pit side, ended up a lap down early in this race. He now rolls in position number 2 as the 57 gets into the outside fence, and Applegate making that mistake, feeling the pressure, getting into the wall, now slides back to 3rd. In a few car lengths back off of our race leaders, and now feeling the pressure again from the 10 rider Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson looking to try to work this HendrickCars.com number 10 ride into the top 3 here this evening, as he wants to join this fight at the front of the field, as the always amazing Fueled Up Motorsports 10 ride looking to get another season high finish here this evening, as he takes over that 3rd position and slides in front of Grant Applegate, and Wyatt Mickelson now into 3rd as Aiden Lucas out in front leading this race. Has that 31 of Dylan Carrier on his back bumper. Carrier looking for a way to get himself into the playoffs here, knowing that if he can win the race, he can lock his way in to our playoffs here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as he starts to really push that 31 ride, looking to try to get every single run, every single groove that he can work out there on the speedway. With only 16 laps left in this race, it's going to get crazier, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get absolutely wild in a quick hurry out there on the speedway. The beating and banging, the battling in the rubbing and scrubbing isn't done yet, and we may even see a late race caution flag come out. If we see that late race caution flag, what's the strategy call? Who's got those extra tires down there behind pit wall to use late in this race? Who will make that decision to maybe give up track position to get some tires here on the evenings? We do see Applegate again into the outside fence. Scrubbing more speed down the back straightaway, unfortunately falling back even more. He's back in that 4th position, and unfortunately now starting to lose touch to the back end of that 10 ride of Wyatt Mickelson, as Mickelson trying to hunt down our top three. That 57 trying to battle back as well as Aiden Lucas continues to lead the way. Aiden out in front now. He's been picture perfect here down on that inside groove as well. He hasn't really left that bottom lane, trying to maybe save some tires at the same time as trying to battle for the race lead and battle for trying to keep himself out in front. You see the 31 ride moving around a little bit more. That could be putting some more stress, some more wear and tear onto the tires of that 31 ride, trying to slide around the racetrack, trying to find different areas to get these runs. You see him almost get a good run there off corner 4. Look down to the inside of that 20 ride. Aiden throws the block. The 31 now goes to the high side through corner 1 and 2, looking for that run, looking for that groove here. Unfortunately gets up, scrubs the outside fence a little too wide there for the first couple corners, and unfortunately slides back a few car lengths. That's maybe the moment that Aiden Lucas was waiting for. Now having that 31 right, having that issue, giving him a little bit of that extra breathing room here now, giving a couple car lengths between himself and that second place driver. Maybe all he needed to start to stretch out this lead and maybe run away with his 4th win in a row. Wyatt Mickelson right there as well, looking to try to race his way for the first time up here into the broadcast booth, looking for his first podium on the season as this HendrickCars.com number 10 ride continues to get better and better week after week after week. He missed last Saturday's race at Gateway, but here tonight back in action, and he's picking right up on the hot streak that he was on. We saw him pick up the first top 10 for his team not too long ago, a few weeks ago, getting that top 10 run. He backed it up with a 6th place finish a couple weeks ago. Last week missed that race, but now here this week up in position number 3 and looking to try to battle for this race win. As Hayes Kev says, living vicariously through Wyatt. Laugh out loud. Definitely living vicariously through him out there on the racetrack. As out in front, Aiden Lucas. I think everyone is kind of living vicariously through him. Everyone wishing that they could be in the same position as this 20 ride. Not only right now, but where he has been the last few weeks, as he's won the last 3 races in a row. Now looking to make it 4 straight wins for this 20 ride as he looks to bring the NJP Designs Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops number 20 machine up and into victory lane. Down out at corner number 4 and nice and easy down. Cross the line. We'll click off another lap. Less than 10 laps left to go. 9 up on the board here for these drivers this afternoon from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is America's home of racing here at Charlotte, and right now each and every one of these drivers put on a great race and a great show for us. Let's see if we can go clean and green down to the end and see if Aiden can pick up another big win here on the season. Not only earning himself more bonus points here for those playoffs, gonna really help him in trying to push him through each and every one of those stages in our playoffs to try to battle for this championship at the end of the year. Every one of these bonus points that he continues to build up, continue to have in his back pocket, means the more and more likely that he can have some free tickets, some free races basically throughout the playoffs. You can have one bad race out of the 3 and still really race your way into the next round without having to stress too much. And that's exactly what Lucas is looking to try to continue to build here throughout this regular season. As Jaden says, I swear Lucas signs with another team that isn't mine. All of a sudden, he can't stop winning. Oh, Jaden, that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one. That's for certain, man. That's for certain, yeah. It took him a little bit. It took him a few races here to start this season. He was looking really good. We saw him lead, of the first 3 races, pretty much led the most of every one of those races, led the most laps in each of those races. Couldn't find victory lane. Something happened late in the race that he'd be tied up in an issue or misjudgment on a pit stop or something that just unfortunately unfolded for Aiden Lucas and kept him out of victory lane. But once he won at Sonoma, he was picture perfect there, ran a perfect race and had a big win at Sonoma Speedway down in Napa Valley, and ever since then this hot streak has been unstoppable. This 20 ride going from not being able to win a race, having a lot of tough breaks, to all of a sudden finding victory lane, and now they cannot keep him out of victory lane here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As that 20 ride with only 5 more laps left to go, looking for another dub, looking for another win here this evening, starting to grow that lead more and more between himself and Dylan Carrier. Carrier almost a second back now of our race leader. Wyatt Mickelson right there in third as Grant Applegate back in position number 4 and looking for more. Noah Blackwell trying to work himself into that 4th position as he wants to get that 18 ride up and around. Grant Applegate late in this race as Ben Gleason in position number 6 in that 66 ride as Jordan Hand back in 7th. Landon Burbage there in 8th. Aaron Robinson rounding out our top 9, and rounding out our top 10 is the 76 of Farrell Robbins. Josh Kreider there in 11th with Michael Durham Jr. there in 12th. Danny White, Jordan Kreider, Jonathan Gaston, Evan Stewart, Brian Underwood, Chris Getz, Nathan Brookover, Melvin Brangerer, Michael Potter Jr., Logan Perriman, Ryan Haller, and Trenton Johns rounding out our field here this evening. But it's all Aiden Lucas now growing that lead to a second between himself and Dylan Carrier down the back straightaway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway with only 3 more laps left to go down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Down across the line, this time we will see 2 more laps left to go, and now this 20 ride is really hoping to lay down a great lap time, get back across the line, and see that white flag fly. He does not want to see the yellow flag come out here until after this race. He doesn't want to see this late race caution flag potentially steal this win away from him as he heads down the back straightaway fast and furiously into corner number 3. Hugs that white and blue line down the bottom side of the racetrack, right onto the apron there for the 20 ride as he rounds corner number 4. And for the final time here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, we will see our final lap of the evening. The white flag being displayed here for Aiden Lucas as he looks to put himself into the history books as the first and potentially the only driver to win 4 races in a row here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. The 20 ride down into corner number 3 for the final time here this evening. We'll round corner number 4, and Aiden Lucas will do what a lot of drivers thought could not be done, and that's win 4 straight races here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League as he gets it done here this evening and puts that 20 ride back up and in to victory lane as he will get the job done and find victory lane here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Another fantastic run, another amazing finish for that 20 ride. Virtually the same that we saw last week. He was hanging out inside the top 5, top 10 pretty much all evening long, having a good car, having a solid race, but looked like he was just missing a little something until that final stage came around. All of a sudden this car really came to life there at Gateway. The same thing happens tonight. He makes the late race move to steal this win away and put himself up and into victory lane, winning his 4th race in a row. What a run and what a drive for Aiden Lucas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner as he gets ready to burn down the house and party here this afternoon down on the front straightaway as he continues to keep on winning. And these drivers out there, the rest of these drivers trying to figure out, how do you beat this guy? How do you knock him off the game? How do you put him back there behind you? And how do you put yourself up and into victory lane instead of that 20 ride? How do you knock him off the top when he's been on fire so much here the last few weeks? And Aiden Lucas finding victory lane again here, winning his 4th race in a row in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Dylan Carrier back there in 2nd, and Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 3 here this evening as Wyatt coming home in 3rd, his first podium here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Huge congratulations there for him in that 10 ride, getting that great run here this evening, and a huge congratulations to his team as well, the Field Up Motorsports crew, with their first top 3 run, their first podium here in the series. As we'll get ready to pull our race winner and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. We'll have to wait and see if we can get Aiden up there into the interview room in just a couple seconds. We'll see if he hops in here, see if he joins in on the fun, see if we can get him up into the waiting room right now. We do see Dylan Carrier in there. He's waiting patiently, our second place driver. We may have to pull him in first. We did pull Aiden around there, but I don't know if he is currently in the bathroom or what he may be doing, celebrating or whatnot. So let's see if we can pull in our second place driver. He's waiting patiently. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Dylan Carrier. Dylan coming home in position number 2 here this evening. A solid run, a solid drive for himself. Let's get him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
I got you loud and clear, good sir.
Dylan, man, another solid run, another solid race for you. We knew you had those penalties. You were going to be starting behind the ball here this afternoon. A couple early caution flags helping you rebound from that one as you battle back up through the field, and then playing some of the strategy late in the race. A somewhat timely caution flag there. During those green flag pit stops, you guys are able to stay up inside the top 5. You're able to have the freshest tires out there on the racetrack. And late in this race, you're trying to, put them to work here. Obviously, you and Aiden able to get around that 57 ride, and quickly, you're putting the pressure onto Aiden's back bumper, trying to find your way around him, knowing that could be the battle for the race lead. Unfortunately, that was our final restart, our final battle there really at the front of the field, as Aiden was able to build that lead up late in the race and pick up another checkered flag as he had to settle in for position number 2 here this evening. But take us back through this one, through those penalties that you got last week, and how you were able to kind of just stay focused and keep on battling here throughout the evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, I drove like an absolute idiot last week, and I apologize to everybody who I, caused problems with. I kind of felt like I was going to be start, 2 laps down, but I was already entering my pit box when the caution came out, which means I only went a lap down. Then we got that another quick caution, put me on lead lap, and I slowly just pieced my way up through the field. I hadn't practiced all week, so I didn't know how the car was going to be on old tires. Car felt great though, and then that caution came out right as I hit pit road, and unfortunately it did give me an end of line. So I mean, I did have to start behind all of the people that, we all got fresh tires and we all got to start up in that position, but my position would have been a little bit better without that black flag, but I think it all worked out in the end. I was putting pressure on Aiden there at the end, but I was trying to figure out a way to set up to pass him, and I was just looking, I'm like thinking if I can just get the run out of the corner, but my entry was better than his, but his exit was way better than mine. So I felt pretty even with him there until he pulled away, and then it was like, all right, I got to hold off and at least finish second. Good points day for me, and I didn't think this is how the outcome was going to be with that major penalty at the beginning of the race, but I'll take it.
Absolutely, definitely got to take it when you can get it out there on the racetrack, and being able to battle back and battle through that adversity to start this race and being able to finish it off here in position number 2 and keep yourself out of some of that carnage and chaos that we saw out there on the racetrack as you park that 31 up here into another great podium run, another solid drive for you here on the season, and starting to get more and more of these good runs. I'm sure without a doubt one of these nights we're going to see you finally up in victory lane, but everyone in the league has got to figure out a way to knock that 20 ride off that top spot and keep Aiden from finding victory lane.
It's going to be hard. Aiden's a really fast car. I mean, on top of the penalty, I was also driving with I'm pretty sure I have a really bad ear infection. I can't hear out of my left ear whatsoever, so I can only listen to my spotter and all sound of the car and the tires only through my right ear. So, I mean, it was a challenge, but I mean, I think I made the most of it, and maybe next week I can, I'll be in the same boat. I won't be able to qualify, so I'll be starting in the back because I'll still have another penalty, but maybe I can drive my way up through there and hopefully get another top 3 finish, and maybe figure out a way to keep Aiden behind me.
Absolutely, brother. Everyone going to be trying to figure out a way to beat that 20 ride next week. It was nice to see him get his first one. Obviously, very much deserving young driver in the series, getting his first win with the league. But now, no one can keep him out of that victory lane. But man, a solid run, a solid drive for yourself, Dylan, as you park it up here on the podium. Who would you like to thank for another solid drive this afternoon?
Yeah, I'd like to thank NJB Designs and Noah for making all my paints. You and the league and a great group of guys, Phoenix Esports, Rubbered Up Motorsports, Josh. Josh told me going into the race, he's like, listen, man, you're gonna be starting in the back. Just take it easy and just work your way up through the field and hopefully get some lucky breaks. And he kind of calmed me down, and that's what team owners do, and greatly I greatly appreciate him, and especially you for broadcasting, all the lovely fans coming out and watch every Saturday night. And I mean, I think that's all I got for tonight.
Beauty. Well, Dylan, a great run, a great drive, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Saturday.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place driver, Dylan Carriers. Carrier coming home in position number 2. We do have our race winner up into the Discord now, so we're going to pull in our race winner here, the number 20 ride of Aiden Lucas. Hey, Aiden, it's Aaron up here, the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth again. Do you got a copy?
I hear you loud and clear.
Aiden, brother, man, what another great run. What another great win here for that 20 machine. As 4 weeks in a row. Once you got that first one, man, you have been a tough cookie to keep out of victory lane as you were able to win your 4th win in a race. Your 4th race in a row here, going to victory lane. Kind of take us through what's going through your mind right now, knowing that you have been able to win 4 races in a row and being able to be the best car at the end of these races the last few weeks. It's got to be, something that dreams are made of, and you got to be sitting on top of the world knowing that you're the car to beat here. Everybody's been chasing you down. Everyone's trying to figure out a way how to beat you here in the series.
Oh yeah, man, you just got to take it week by week and spend a little bit of time on each of the tracks, get familiar with all these lines. But it's been fun to be able to run up front here. Charlotte, we only led a handful of laps there towards the end, so you just got to lead the right ones.
Absolutely. Being out in front at the right time is the main key for every one of these drivers. And in the last 4 weeks, you've been that car at the front of the field on that final lap and picking up the dubs here in the series. But take us back through this race, as it kind of played out the same as what we saw last week at Gateway. Seemed like the first few stages you were kind of just learning and waiting patiently, just trying to keep yourself out of trouble, not really showing too much speed, not really showing that you had some tricks up your sleeve late in these races, until we got to those points, until we got to that time where it was really time to go. It was time to shine out there on the racetrack. We saw it at Gateway, where later on we saw you race your way up to the front, take that race lead away, and pick up the dub. We see the exact same thing here at Charlotte, where it seemed like it was going to be Grant Applegate's race to win. And everyone else back there behind him was just going to be battling for second, until all of a sudden you came up out of nowhere and we're starting to put the pressure on them before we see that caution flag come out late in this race.
Yeah, the track kind of changed. Luckily for me, I was trying to get that bottom to work all race, and finally got it figured out. And Grant said his car just turned off. I was talking to him a little bit. He said, like, I'm doing the same thing all race. And, just blew through the tires, I guess. That's what he was saying. But, yeah, track change went my way, and it feels good.
Absolutely. Well, it's always feeling good when you're up in victory lane. As Amy, you're able to park that 20 ride back up here for the 4th week in a row. And, brother, who would you like to thank again here this evening for another solid run, another great race, and another checkered flag on the season?
Yeah, thank you to Brian, Josh, and Ben for all the stuff they do to get this league rolling. Thank you to Redemption, my teammates. Y'all are the best people to race with. Sucks you guys got taken up or got caught up in that. And thank you to Noah for the paint.